This is TWiT.
This is the OnePlus 5. What I have here is the 8 gigabyte with 128. Wait,
8 gig of storage? No, 8 gig of RAM.
128. So actually here, Jason, since you haven't seen it and you're an amazing hand model, why don't you take that while I...
Will I need to unlock it? Or will it unlock?
Yeah, you will, but you know my password. It's the same thing it's always been because I'm a terrible...
I do a good job of not knowing anybody else's password but my own.
That's good. That's good. I shouldn't have anything incriminating on there either.
Okay, well, I'll find it if you do.
So this is the OnePlus 5. It's the most expensive phone that OnePlus has made thus far. It's the successor to the 3T, the 3 and the 3T, which came out last year. The base model is $479, and that comes with 6 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage. This one that Jason's holding on camera right now, for those of you audio listeners, has, like I said, 128 gigs of onboard storage and 8 gigs of RAM. It's an extra $60. And it does have an expansion slot, so you can add to it if you really need to. This is also the only version that comes in this like really nice matte black finish. So if that's what you're looking for, you'll want to get the $60 more one, which would put this phone over $500.
Okay.
Actually. What else? It's got a 5.5-inch AMOLED display. It's only 1080p. And by the way, I totally misspoke on the new screensavers last weekend. I said it was IPS. Sorry, y'all. It's AMOLED. But that's why it's so nice and bright, and you can actually see it in the sun a lot easier than maybe the last couple of models over the years. This runs the latest version of Android 7.1, has a one-touch fingerprint sensor on the front, coupled with 2 other capacitive buttons. And so that fingerprint scanner will work as a home button if you want it to, give you a little haptic feedback. And the good news is there's a built-in game tool software that you can implement to keep those capacitive buttons from being accidentally activated when you're doing something important on the phone.
When you're playing Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, which is actually what I was getting frustrated until I realized that the game tools can help me with that little issue.
Oh, cool. See.
There we go. Sonic 1. What can I say? Going back old school.
It's great. It's classic.
There's also a 3,300 milliamp battery in this thing, and because it's only a 1080p display, you've got pretty good battery life for most of the day. Not really an issue here. Of course, it also has its proprietary charging method, the dash charging, which you will have to buy the special accessory, the special cord, and the adapter that comes with it. It's not interchangeable with quick charge, sorry to say, but they're pretty affordable on Amazon, so if you want to stock up on those. I think now is the most big part of the OnePlus 5, which is its dual rear cameras. What we have here are dual 16 megapixel cameras, dual cameras. One is 16 megapixel, one is 20 megapixel. The first one is a bit better for low light because it's got an aperture of f1.7. The second one is a bit better for zooming since that shoots at 40 millimeters compared to 24 millimeters in the primary, so it's got more of a focal length. And I can say that the zooming in of this phone is pretty impressive. I don't know if we want to... This is going off script, but if you wanted to try it on camera, I have a little pal here for you.
Okay, a little pal.
That you can zoom in on.
Okay, and zoom.
Yeah, you gotta hit the 2x so you can go in on the second camera. And there you go. Yeah, that's the zoom. Of course, you can zoom by pinching or the screen, the reverse pinching, as I like to call it.
And then any further than that, and it's digital zoom,
any further, it's, and then I did bring some camera samples.
Nice.
We wanted to go through some photos real quick.
Photos. Let the photos begin.
These are just some photos that I took over the weekend outside in sunny California.
Oh.
Lots of
you like your flowers.
Very vivid flowers. So one thing I did a lot of these, Brian, you can just kind of scroll through them as you like. One thing that I really enjoyed using though is the portrait mode, which you can see in some of this. This is using a portrait mode. And this picture, it's got a very like nice blurred background. It's very seamless. It doesn't look like it's trying too hard. It's pretty impressive, actually. You can just choose any focal distance that you want.
Now, how do I kick that off in here? Is it...
Brian, do you mind if we go back to the camera to do a live demo real quick?
I
yeah,
gotcha.
so if
okay.
we can try it now.
So I've got that. I'll go swipe like that. Let me get some stuff in the background.
So basically, Jason's holding the phone, and there's a depth effect that you have to slide to. So instead of sliding over to the video.
Normal camera.
Yeah, you would be sliding over to depth effect. And so tap on little Android friend, because you got to put him in focus. And yeah, but you see where you tap him really matters on how it focuses, because if you tap him on the belly, his face is gonna be out of focus. But if you tap him on the head, your standard Android robot,
I kind of got it.
And plus it's dark in here, so you can't, you don't have as much detail to pick from.
Cool.
So the pictures in daylight, of course, are just really great. 60 megapixels acting here. But then brought some low light shots too, which were very interesting.
And that would be the number 3, Brian.
Sorry, Brian. I was like trying to be organized about it, and now. So I put together a couple of night shots that I took. This is just of my little assortment I have at home with candlelight. So the first picture is of the OnePlus 5. As you can see, it's a little more like red. It's a little bolder. The second image is of the GS8. It's much yellower. And the third image is of the Pixel XL, which I think is actually the brightest of the 3.
And it seems a little bit less color influenced.
It is also less color influenced, because remember back to the initial Pixel reviews, what we had said is it shoots a lot like the GS. Well, I think you said GS7 at the time. I don't remember. But it shoots very accurately, but the colors, because they're so accurate, like you will have to do a little bit of post-processing.
Got it. Yeah, that's right. That's
very vivid. And that was kind of, that's how it performed across the board, the OnePlus 5. It was pretty good in low light situations with maybe needing like a little help. In this photo, we had just candlelight again. OnePlus 5 was actually a little blown out, but not as badly as the Pixel XL.
Yeah, you see it on that watch strap. And on the watch face.
And the Pixel, because remember the Pixel XL has those problems with the glare. So, when you shoot directly into the sun or with like a major light source in the corner, like it will bleach out the rest of the photo. And then and yes, that's Jesus, because I am Romanian Orthodox. So of course I have those in my house. The OnePlus 5 did really well, just lighting candlelight. And so what I did is I focused in the back, because I wanted to see how it deals with the ambient light from the candle. Yeah. And the details were really clear. The GS8 actually struggled the most of these 3. And as you can see there in the background, you can't see on camera, but when you zoom in, there's a little less detail on the GS8 than there is on the OnePlus 5 and the Pixel. I think the OnePlus 5, though, has all of its megapixels working in its favor in this sense. So. Nice.
Those are some good comparisons. Now, Tim, I think you said prior to the show you have one of these as well, right? You've been playing around with the OnePlus 5?
Yep, got it right here.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm liking it so far, actually. I'm a big fan of less skinned Android, so this fits that bill because of their Oxygen OS being very slimmed down. They offer a dark theme mode, which is nice, especially coupled with that AMOLED display it has. Overall, I've been very happy in terms of battery life. The camera, low light, it's not as good as some of the other top tier phones out there, but it still does the job for most average consumers. So I think overall, they've got a winner. This is probably one of my favorite OnePlus devices I've used.
And they had said leading up to this, they made a really big deal about the camera array on the back and about how, they realized that a big priority for users right now is quality of camera. Do you think that the dual camera setup here and the quality of the images that you get justify their kind of their passionate stance about that with this device?
So far, yes, I think so. There was that big debacle. I actually just made a video about this yesterday about the zooming in. Someone posted a video that got popular on Reddit talking about how when you go to zoom in and use the telephoto lens, the second one, if you zoom in, it doesn't always work. And the main factor behind that was that it's not getting enough light because of the aperture of that telephoto lens. So I had to show. I mean, I made a video explaining that to people because everyone was grabbing their pitchforks, saying, "Oh, OnePlus, what are you doing? You're cheating us," which was ridiculous because the iPhone 7 Plus does the exact same thing, and it's just how those camera lenses work. It just determines the amount of light that you have. But so overall, I think that the camera has justified their claims and everything. It's not a flagship priced device, so I would say the camera doesn't compete with, for me, the Galaxy S8 camera. That's probably my top one at the moment overall. But I do like that it does have a telephoto lens. It does come in handy at times. And yeah, I mean, at the price point, I've been very happy with the camera performance.
Yeah, I think
also really,
this is your video, OnePlus 5 camera.
Yeah, that was the one I made. Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's also really speedy because it's got the double press the home button double press the power button to quick launch the camera, and it's very speedy.